Shalom. I'd like to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Peace and blessing to all the brothers around the world that's pushing this truth and sincerity, who are of the hopeful elect. And also shalom to all those that believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and support this truth. I want to go into this scripture that you see on the screen, 1 Timothy 4:12. And I want to go through the spirit because, a lot of things come to mind when I think of this scripture, as far as being an example to the brotherhood, especially the older brothers in the camps, being an example to the younger brothers, and also the younger brothers in the camp being an example to the ones that came in after them, So it don't matter which level you on. You should have the spirit on you to where you want to be an example of a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And not just a guy that can obtain a bunch of knowledge, no breakdowns, go out on the block on Saturday, and then that's where it stop at. Or however it may be, but you're not showing characteristics of a man that represents these scriptures, because there's more to this. It's more to the truth than just talking about it. You got to be about it. These scriptures is about taking action. So you do have to talk about it, but you gotta walk the talk. So I'm gonna quit speaking. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the scripture, and bring it to life. So this is 1 Timothy 4:12. It reads, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers, in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity." So this was what Paul was telling Timothy. He said, "Let no man despise thy youth," because a lot of us, in its truth, we young men, we young in the truth of these scriptures, and we have to represent Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai by the example that we put forth or we show forth, meaning what Paul told Timothy right here in the scripture. He said, be an example of the believers. You know what I'm saying? Be an example of the believers. So the ones that believe should be an example to other brothers. You know what I'm saying? It says in word. So the things you talk about, your conversation as far as speaking back and forth between a brother or the brotherhood, you should always have be talking about these scriptures, the breakdowns. Not saying every time you talking to a brother, y'all just gonna be talking about the scriptures, but it should be a consistency, and not a consistency like once every blue moon, but consistent when you talk to a brother, when you get together for class, when you get together in different gatherings with brothers, you should be speaking on these scriptures, going over breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Filtering things we see out here in Babylon and filter out though what we see through the scriptures, and show how that it relates to the scriptures. It says in conversation, and let's see what this word conversation. I think I know what it is, but we're gonna go ahead and look it up. Okay, so this is for that word conversation. Okay. Okay, so it says manner of life, conduct, behavior, deportment. So check that out. It say manner of life, how you conduct yourself, your behavior. So that's the outside of the words, meaning speaking one to another between the brothers and in the brotherhood about the scriptures, going over breakdowns, speaking on the scriptures. You also supposed to, it said manner of life. So your manner of life should reflect what these scriptures is talking about. Meaning rehearse the righteous acts, rehearse the law, statutes, and commandments. Keep them to the best of your ability. You know, when you in certain situations, show that you got faith. You know what I'm saying? For an example, if you get locked up, and in this particular camp, we some of the brothers got locked up before, and we actually showed faith. The judge, well, they was asking, did we want to plead guilty or innocent? And we were innocent, you know what I'm saying? They locked us up, basically on some wrongfully, but we knew we were innocent, and if we would have pled guilty, we would have got out. We would have got out quicker, but it would have been on our record. But we pled innocent, and they threw the case out. They threw the case out. So that's just an example, but you might run into a particular situation where faith has to be shown, and you don't want to show the example of a man that doesn't have faith. The Hurricane Harvey hit out here. Hurricane Harvey hit out here, and that's an example of a time where you would need to show faith. As an example, you don't want to be a brother that's showing an example that you're gonna fold up like a lawn chair when all hell break loose. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. It say in conversation and in charity. So let's go in to that word charity too. All right. All right. I forgot to play the last word. I'm gonna play this one. So Salaki, I'm gonna go back to that word.
Strong's G26. Agape. Agape.
Okay, so for that word charity, in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12, it says affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love, love feast. So yeah, man, you gotta show that brotherly love, man. You gotta display that you love the brotherhood, man. By being your brother's keeper. By rebuking if necessary, by correcting, by exhorting, and by exhortation, by complimentation, complimenting the brother, when he's doing well, that's one way you can exhort, exhort a brother. The scriptures say in spirit, so always dwelling in the understanding, like show forth an example of a man that has understanding of these scriptures by the way you carry yourself in this truth, man. And being in the truth is your whole life. Being in the truth is not just when you studying, when you praying, when you fasting, when you going out on the block, whenever you go out on the block, when you have class, when you do your lessons. That's the those are major parts of the truth. But your everyday existence on the planet Earth is this you and the truth. You know, your every second of existence here while we in Babylon the Great, it's us and we in the truth now. You know, period. It says in fate. Now, okay, it say in fate. So I gave some examples. So I pretty much jumped the gun. I said, you know, you want to be a brother that show that you faithful in certain situations. You want to show that, look, we got to have faith, be strong. So it's saying it right here in the actual in the scripture. You know, be an example in faith. Show forth your faithfulness, and really, you know, the time is gonna come. You know, the time is on its way that we are gonna have to show faith. You know, as every day, man, as we get closer and closer to the end of this man's kingdom, Esau's kingdom, we're gonna have to show faith, be an example of faith. You know, it says in purity. So you know, let's see what the word purity is. What it say for purity? Okay, so for the word purity,
Strong's G47. Hagnaya.
so sinless. It says purity, sinlessness of life. So showing that you're a man that keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, not a man that's going off all the time. You around a brother and you showing forth an example of going off like that cat, that nigga in Atlanta, the ex-head of Atlanta, man. And there's many others, but you know that was like a recent example of the example not to show. You know, man. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh Bashum Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that's doing his work in truth and sincerity, who are of the hopeful elect. Hey, Shalom, Akim.